Welcome, everybody. Last night, your intrepid Hollywood progressive team witnessed the jolting production of Mama, Mama, Can't You See, playing at the studio stage on Western Avenue, co-written and starring Marine Corps veteran Stan Meyer. Mama, Mama is a terribly inventive, almost kinetic performance designed not so much as a play about war, but rather as a play about how to tell a war story, according to the creators. And it's centered on the moment the truck carrying 4 Marines is blown apart by a landmine in the Iraq desert. How did that blow you up, Nia?
So this play was very different. Not like anything we had ever seen before. Like my dad said, it was incredibly inventive. Um, the format of the play, maybe format isn't the right word, but so like my dad said, it was centered around the moment, the exact moment that a bomb goes off and ultimately takes the life of one of the Marine corpsmen. Um, and the playwrights take the opportunity to look at war across time through time as well as death, and they talk about they talk about the impact of war and loss of life throughout time and who is affected by those things. There were moments where we were looking at the mother of a um, fallen marine, but it applies to any fallen soldier. Looks at a sister wife, um, looks at how others are affected by it, and then, like my dad said, this play was more about how to tell a war story. How do you convey the immense damage, the immense heartbreak, the immense, I don't say rarity, but something that whoever you're telling the story to, 99.99% of the time, they are not involved in combat. They have never seen combat. They've never been on a battlefield. They haven't been trained in the military in any degree. So, how do you convey the depth, the meaning, the importance, the value of a story, of a war story, without selling out, without losing out to the shock factor, without um, it just becoming, you know, a shocking story that that person can then talk to and tell someone else, and make it lose the value over time as it's repeated. This was an inventive play, which we've said. This play used a lot of physicality, a lot of really unique lighting to sort of section out different sections of the stage at different times to provide really dramatic lighting. To say, I guess there were a couple of specific characters, but they were so interestingly interspersed across all of the actors. I think several actors ultimately played the same person in different ways as they were retelling this same story. I was very intrigued by the fact that the co-writer and the veteran who was in it, I believe it was his story. I may have that wrong, but it may be a story of one of his several tours in Afghanistan and Iraq, which automatically adds a weight to it that is, I think, properly conveyed and thoroughly conveyed. And by the end of it, you're almost exhausted. I mean, it's like, man, like they do such a good job of taking the chaos of such a terrible moment and the terribleness of war in and of itself and the awful, awful things that most, if not all, military members across the branches have seen and dealt with. And you feel the weight of it at the end of it. It's not just a light retelling, it's not sugar coated, it's in depth, it's deep, and it's meaningful. I really enjoyed it. Sharon, what did you think?
Well, I will say that the strength of this story is that it does not take war and the gore of war and the tragedy of war and provide a window, almost like a voyeur, to be entertained by. And many of our war movies and plays, they almost become an exploitive way of looking at the harms that were done to people and use that as a form of entertainment. So it doesn't do that. And it also conveys how war is absolutely something to be avoided. This is not something to glorify. There are no heroes here. It's not something that young men watching would say, oh, I can't wait till my turn. So I'd say that that is the strength of the play. It uses very little in terms of staging and set equipment to try to convey lots of different scenes. And I'd say in that respect, it was effective.
So this was Stan Meyer's story. We're going to link to an article, a newspaper article about him. This was during his first tour of 5 tours in Iraq and Afghanistan. He was involved in the explosion. A friend of his died. It's very much a realistic story. And I think the part about, as a fellow veteran who did not serve 5 tours, as a fellow veteran, I understand that it's not that they're calling it not a war story, but rather a way to tell a war story. Because how many movies have I sat through that just were so preposterous? All the daring do the actors do, and they all have these guns that shoot 500 rounds, and it's kind of debases the experience. But this play, which is kinetic and psychic, it conveys the horror of combat, the horror, the confusion, the misery. Obviously, I don't know Stan Meyer, we've met him, but obviously this experience, as it does for veterans, lives with him, and he has spent some years trying to tell this story. It is powerful. We need to say that 4 of the characters the director calls them whores. They're Civil War sex workers who transform into mothers and sisters and daughters of the veterans, and there's a lot of perhaps the most interesting thing and interesting part of it. There's a lot of choreography, a lot of dance, some music that you kind of don't expect when you go into it. It was interesting that the set is a half of a geodesic dome that acts as the truck, that acts as the house, acts as a lot of different things. It's powerful. It's powerful, and as the play notes say, it's not for the faint-hearted. There's lots of simulated combat, loud noises, smoke, flashing lights, acted out sex scenes. It's kind of rough stuff, appropriate for an actual war.
Yeah. So
you got more, Nia?
I did just want to add, I think the very first few minutes of this play was probably the most impactful I think we've seen, and probably the biggest hook into a play that we've experienced. Those first few moments, starting from pitch black, it grabs you, you're curious, you're invested in these 2 people, and then you watch the devolution and the destruction and the mayhem that follows with them. It's very interesting. There's also an aspect of afterlife isn't the word, but sort of this other sort of place in between life and death, where all these spirits are having died themselves in different ways. And it's just a really interesting telling, a really interesting way to travel through time and look at this one instant moment of a bomb going off and spread it out across however long the show is, an hour and a half, 2 hour, hour and 45 minutes. Very clever, very clever. I enjoyed it. I did enjoy it.
So it plays through December 10th at the Studio Stage Theater, which is on 520 Northwestern Avenue. We hope you'll go see it. I think it plays Thursday, Fridays, and Saturdays and Sundays. So there's lots of performances. There's plenty of time to see it.
Great.
So thanks.
Thanks,
Talk
everyone.
to you next time.